Hey loves, and welcome back to my channel. It's Ijoma here, and in today's video we're going to learn how to make this beautiful blouse or shoulder blouse with an asymmetric hemline, a scallop neckline. So we are going to use this black curve, and the ankara is for the skirt. We're not going to show you guys the skirt tutorial, just a straight cut skirt. Then for the blouse, the tutorial is really long. I had to divide it into two parts, the cutting and drafting. You can see this one is up to 20 something minutes. Yeah, so let's do the cutting first of all. And I had to join my paper because of the length of the blouse. So I joined the paper, and I'm going to draft out this pattern on fold. Because of the asymmetric nature of the hemline, we are going to draft it on fold. And now I have folded my paper, and I will start taking my measurements. First of all, I will mark my measurements as if I'm cutting out a blouse that has a shoulder. So you can see how I placed my tape. I'm cutting it as if it has a shoulder, and I marked my bust point 10. My chest line is 8. That is, armhole line is 8. My underbust is 14. The half length that I'm making use of is supposed to be 17, but I made it 18 inches because I want it to be snatched. Then from the half length I came down by 5 inches, and that is 24, and I added extra 6 inches. From that 24 I came down by extra 6 inches, and that is 30 inches. So that extra 6 inches is for the extension. Now I'm going to rule out these lines and label all of them so that we can understand what I am doing right here. So now I will rule the lines and connect. Like I said, draft your paper on fold. You can actually do freehand for this tutorial if you want. You will follow the same procedure that I'm doing on paper. You fold your fabric, every line that I marked, you mark. You can do freehand. So now I'm done connecting all the lines, and I will cut out the remaining part of the paper because I don't need them. All right, so now after cutting out that paper, we'll start cutting. The bust that we are going to make use of is 40. The waist we are working with is 29. The hip we are working with is 48. So from that top of the paper I came down by 5 inches. I will come down by 5 inches so that the neckline can come up, so that by the time I'm done marking the scallop neckline, it will not be too low. So from your shoulder, come down by 5 inches. That is the reason why I said that I am cutting out this pattern as if it has a shoulder. From the shoulder I came down by 5. It depends on how deep your own client wants their own to be. So now I am done cutting out that. I will go ahead and cut out that 5 inches. We don't need this because this is more like an off shoulder blouse, right? So we don't need it, and I have cut it out. Now the first line, this line is my chest line, also known as armhole line. The line at the top is the neckline. This one is the bust point. This is the under bust. The next line is the half length. This one is the normal full length, and then the other one is the extension, and I labeled it as extension. All right, so now the next thing I'm going to do is to mark the nipple to nipple. The nipple to nipple is 8 inches divided by 2, that is 4. And from the center of the paper I am going to place the nipple to nipple. All right, so this is it. I'll place the tape 4 inches, and I'll mark the 4 inches line straight down. Now I am done marking that. At the side piece I will take out 2 inches. From the center line I will take out 2 inches. At the center piece I will take out half inch straight down, and this is starting from the under bust. I hope you understand. So from the under bust I came in by half an inch on the center piece and 2 inches on the side piece. The next thing is to connect the lines and then curve them towards the bust point. I'll mark the straight line down to the full length. This is the dart line, and then curve them to the bust point. So now that I'm done doing this, at the side piece at the top, I will go in by 1.5 for the upper bust tightening. So I used 1.5 for my upper bust tightening. And the next thing I'm going to do is to shade these darts so that you can understand that they are darts. Now that I am done shading all the dots, I will take the body measurements. All right, so the bust is 40 divided by 4, that is 10, plus 1.5 inch for that upper bust tightening, that is 11.5. The waist is 29 inches divided by 4, that is about 7.25, plus 2.5. The that intake at the under bust is 2.5. The total that intake is 2.5. So you replace the 2.5 and mark. Then her hip is 48 divided by 4, that is about 12 inches, plus 2.5 for that intake. The that intake at the hip area is 2.5. So I'll go ahead and replace the 2.5, and I took the hip measurement at the full length, at the normal full length, the 24 inches. That's why I took the hip measurement. So the next thing that I am going to do now is to connect a straight line from that hip, that full length, straight down to the extension. All right, so all my measurements are correct, and I'll go ahead and extend them. Now that I am done, the next thing I'm going to do is to measure the neck width. You know, it is an off shoulder, but you have to measure the neck width. So I want the neck width to be 14. That is 14 divided by 2, 7, plus 1.5 for the upper dart intake. You know, the upper dart is 1.5. So I measured 7 plus the 1.5 for that upper dart, and then I connected. So now I'll go ahead and add my side dart. My side dart is 1.5. The distance between her front half length and her back half length is 1.5. The front half length is 18. The back half length is 16.5. So I'll go ahead and mark 1.5 at the side for the side darts before I go ahead and cut out. So now that I am done cutting out, I'll also slash the side dart because I'll close it on paper. So I'll open up the side dart. I'll open up the side dart and close on paper. So this is the center piece, and the side pieces I'll take my time and close them with my masking tape. So now that I am done closing them with the masking tape, I will also go ahead and close the darts on paper. And this is the reason why I cut out this pattern on fold, so that I can close the darts on paper. You can do this on your main fabric. After sewing, you can cut the hemline, the asymmetric hemline. But I want to do everything on pattern because it will make the sewing process easy for me. For the sewing, once I pick each piece of them, I will join. Once I pick, I will join. I don't have to be trimming the lining and the fabric. I don't have to go through all that stress. drafting it on paper will stress me, but once you are done drafting on paper, every other thing will be easy for you. So if you want to do this on fabric, you can do it on fabric, but for me, I prefer doing it on paper. All right, so I am closing, starting from the underbust down to the hemline. I'll also go ahead and close the other side. Okay, so make sure you close them. If you want to close up to the upper bust, that's fine, but I want to make it easy for you. Just close from under bust down to the full length and extension. You can see the extension that I gave to this paper. Now I will go ahead and find the right side and the left side. So this is the right and the left side. It's very important to label them. Now from the half length around the dart line of the left hand side, I'll go up by 1 inch. From the dart of the half, from the full length of the left hand side, sorry, from the full length, go up by 1 inch. All right, then from the full length of the right, connect to the dart line on the left. From the full length of the right, connect to the dart line on the left. Okay, then you go ahead and mark a straight line from that, starting from that 1 inch above the full length down to the full length. You can see I've gotten that side. You will mark a straight line first of all. Then this one will, the scallop of the left will start. We'll have just 2 scallop lines. Just 2 scallop lines on the left. So you can see that I'm looking at the picture while marking it. So feel free to make mistakes and adjust. That is why I love pattern. You can make mistakes and adjust it on pattern. And this left hand side, like I said, has only 2 scallop curves. So I will keep remarking it until I've gotten the perfect scallop curve for the 2 sides. So I marked and I had about 3, which I don't think is okay for me, so I had to reduce it to the 2. The original design has 2, so I had to remark. This is the first one, this is the first scallop, and then the second scallop. So this left hand side we have just 2 scallop lines. Then on the right you have about 4. On the right you have about 4 and more like half. So you can see the scallop will be ending, they will be crossing this straight line that I marked a little, like they will come up by 1 inch above the straight line, come up by 1 inch above the straight line, 1 inch above the straight line. So you can see how I am curving it. I have already marked 3 and then the last one. So you can see this straight line that I marked helped me get exactly what I wanted. So I have got the left scallop and the right scallop. So this line is just straight, the straight cut line at the dart line of the left. The dart line of the left, the design remains straight. So the one on the right is 4, the one on the left is just 2. So I had to get a scissors, a smaller scissors that will be easy for me to get the curves perfectly. And this is why I like pattern. I closed on paper and then I got this scallop. So after doing this on the hemline, it is remaining the one on the neckline. So I am going to separate this paper. Now that I've gotten the scallop line that I want, I will separate the paper. This is also, I will go ahead and cut out the scallop of the left, and this is what I have. The full length is out, like, and the hemline is out already. So I'll go ahead and open up the pattern again. I don't want to remove the masking tape so that I will not tear my paper. So I just had to like cut it open the way it was after getting that scallop. I've gotten what I wanted. Now I'll go ahead and close the upper dart. You know, this one is just the neckline, so close the upper dart and it will help you get the neckline. So just go ahead and close the upper dart, and then if you check the main picture, the scallop on the neckline is actually 5, yes, 5, 1 at the center and 2 on both sides. So I am replicating exactly what I have on the inspiration. So after closing all this, after closing, I'll find the center neckline, the center of the neckline, and then I'll start marking. So this is the reason why I said you should go up by 5 inches. You should come down by 5 inches from the shoulder line, so that after marking the scallop, your neckline will not be too deep. So I got 1.5 inch. From that 5 inches, I came down by 1.5, and that is more like my sweetheart neckline. And then I'll start marking my scallop curves, and all of them will be coming down to that 1.5. So this one is the number 1. We have just 4, so the second one ended like 1.5 inch above the chest line, 1.5 inch above chest line. So I'll also start the other one. All of them will be stopping at 1.5 inch above your armhole line. That one is the first one. Then the second one, you can actually do this on fold if you want. You fold the paper before you do this, but I just marked it this way so that I can have a clear view of what it looks like before I cut. And now I have gotten what I wanted, and I'll go ahead and cut. So I'm taking my time to cut it. So after cutting out this, I will also go ahead and separate them. Now I can start cutting out on my fabric. Then another thing is the sleeve. The sleeve is more like round butterfly, like more like round scallop neckline kind of. So this is our front paper, and our front is set. So for the back is going to have lacing, like it is going to be more like back of a corset. If you want to add zip, you are free to add zip. I have gotten my pattern, my center front and my right and left pieces, and all of them have different shapes. Like this is an asymmetric blouse, all of them have different shapes. Now for the back, I'll remove the chest line because the front and the back will meet each other at the chest line, and then the back half length is 16.5. You know, the front is 18 inches, right? But I said that the back half length is 1.5 inch shorter than the front neck half length. So the back half length is 16.5, and then the full length will also be 1.5 inch shorter than the front full length. The normal front full length is 24, but this one is 22.5. Okay, it will be 1.5 inch shorter. Now I will get my front paper. I'll get one of the front paper to show you guys that they are equal. So you can see two of them will meet at the half length, will meet at the chest line, and you can see at the sides, this line, they are just equal. So this is the full length of the back, and then the half length, the full length of the front. Two of them are equal. So this is the chest line of the back, this is the half length, and this is the full length. I am adding no dots here. I'll just divide my bust by 4 and mark, divide my waist by 4 and mark. At the full length, I will divide my hip by 4 and mark. And if you notice, I did not also add any zip allowance because I said that I want to lace it. I don't want it to have zipper allowance. So I'll just go ahead and connect my measurements. After that, I will mark out my lacing area. I'll mark out my lacing area. I made a mistake with the bust measurement, so I had to remark it. So after that, I'll mark out my lacing area, and that will be all for the back. So I've connected from my waist to my hip. Now at the center back, I want it to have a triangular lacing. So at the top, I marked 1.5, and from that 1.5, I marked a triangular line down to the full length. I want it to have triangular lacing, so I'll cut off that place that I shaded. So at the full length, I'll curve it a little. I don't want the back of the blouse to just be straight. I'll curve it a little, and this is the center back, and this is the back panel. I'll go ahead and cut out. You can see the drafting of this alone is taking us some time. That's why I had to focus on the drafting alone, so that the sewing will be very understandable. We don't have to rush everything. So I am done with the back. Now this is for the flower. Like I'm trying to like trace out what I want to use for the sleeve. I actually tried this many times before I got it. After I opened it up, it wasn't really giving me what I wanted. I had to like keep trimming and trimming and trimming until I have gotten the size I want. I'm going to do two pieces each. Two pieces for the each sleeves, 2 pieces each, 2 pieces each. All right. So now that is all. We'll keep that aside. Now the next thing that I am going to do is to cut it on the fabric. I'm done drafting both the front, the back. I'm still trying to like get the shape of this flower the way I want it. So it is up to you. Just take your time and keep curving it until you have gotten what you want and the size you want. Now let's start cutting on the fabric. So this crepe, I'm using it as the lining and this as the main fabric too. So I'm cutting out two pieces each. You know, this is an asymmetric dress, so both the center fronts, all the sides are not equal. I'm not cutting it on fold. I left it open. After cutting center front, I will paste. I'll cut center back, paste. I'll cut back, paste the paper on it. I'll cut the right and the left hand side, and all of them are different. So I'm adding half an inch allowance round all the scallop, and then half an inch allowance round the darts. So this is how I'm going to finish cutting all the pieces. So now I am done cutting all the pieces, and this is where we are going to stop at for now. In our next class, we will start with the joining, and I also add interface to all of them, add pad to the main fabric, and then we'll start with the sewing.